A very good afternoon to you and many thanks for joining us on Citizen at 1. I am Kirigo Ngarwa. Senate Minority Leader Moses Wetangula has urged Kenyans to support the push for a referendum that will allow for constitutional amendment to increase county allocations from the current 15% to 40% of the national budget. Wetangula, who is also the Ford Kenya party leader, argues this will enable county governments roll out projects and enhance overall service delivery.
Pesa iongezeke au pesa isiongezeke? Iongezeke au isiongezeke? Basi tutamwambia mpige kura ya maoni, tupeleke pesa mpaka 40% mapato ya nchi. Ndiyo muweze kupiga tarmac roads hapa, kujenga viwanda hapa, kuajiri vijana na kuleta mabadiliko kwa maisha ya wananchi, ndio mfurahie ugatuzi na katiba mpya.
Two suspected highway robbers were last night shot dead by police following a fierce exchange of fire at Mbaruk along the Nakuru-Nairobi highway. Samburu has the details.
Confirming the incident, the Nakuru OCPD said that the two, who were in the company of three others, managed to escape into the bush. They were ambushed by police as they erected a roadblock using stones at 10 p.m.
Challenged them to stop and surrender, but instead they started firing to police.
Police have been trailing them since Wednesday after a lorry was carjacked at the same point and its crew attacked, where they sustained cuts. The injured are currently at the Nakuru General Hospital. Police laid an ambush in three groups and waylaid the suspects. They recovered an AK-47 rifle loaded with 1 round of ammunition, a toy pistol, 2 jungle jackets, and a police bullet.
We will not relent our wars against criminals until they leave Nakuru. We also want to ensure that in the entire Nakuru County, cases of armed robberies are no longer a threat.
However, 3 escaped and the police have launched a manhunt for them, adding that they will not relent in the war against crime. They have since intensified patrols between Nakuru and Gilgil, where most cases of highway robberies are reported. Mwinde pointed out that highway robbers who operate around the area are often ferried using a Probox vehicle, and immediately they succeed to hijack a vehicle, they call their colleagues, who then provide transport for the stolen goods. It is believed that one of the shot suspects was the gang leader, while his colleague was a middle-aged youth. The bodies were taken to the Nakuru Municipal Mortuary. Samburu, Citizen at 1.
Police in Samburu County are tracking down poachers who killed an elephant in Syria forest on Wednesday night. The Kenya Wildlife Service Senior Warden Dominic Wambua says officers have been deployed to pursue the suspects. Local leaders have promised to secure the area and ensure no other poaching case is reported in Samburu.
Nina hakika tutawapata, au wale wanaoshirikiana nao tutawapata. Ni vizuri, wanyama ni wengi na Wasamburu wamekubali kuishi nao wanyama kwa muda mrefu, isipokuwa wachache wanataka kumanufaisha kwa hii biashara ya haramu ya pembe.
World champion Milka Chemos and compatriot and world silver medalist Lydia Chepkirui will be in action tonight, competing for the Diamond League race and a 3.5 million Kenya shillings jackpot. Chemos, who clinched the coveted title last year, is tied in points with Chepkirui, who also has 12. If either of the two wins tonight in Brussels, Belgium, they will clinch the Diamond Trophy. The two bagged gold and silver at the World Athletics Championships in Moscow last month and will be wary of bronze medalist Sophia Asefa, who could clinch the overall title if the two Kenyans finish outside the top two.
But it was this cheeky smile and the front running of Milka Chemos.
On and on. She's really enjoying herself. Well, we saw a jig. We might see a jig from Kenya.
And further afield, a group of Syrian citizens have formed human shields around vital government installations in anticipation of a possible United States military attack. The Syrian people are opposed to a decision by the U.S. to unleash military action in Syria in response to an alleged chemical weapons attack.
Some Syrian people have been camping out near vital civilian establishments as human shields to protect Syria against possible American attacks. The citizens have tried to come up with ways to avoid the American intervention since the United States announced its possible military actions against Syria, and one of these attempts is Over Our Dead Bodies campaign. A group of volunteers have been camping out near vital establishments, acting as human shields to protect them from possible U.S. attacks.
نحن هون عم نوجه رسالة لبلاد العالم كله بالأخص أمريكا إنه نحن رافضين أي ضربة وأرواحنا فداء هالبلد. نحن هون واقفين على جبل قاسيون، على جبل التاريخ هذا، جبل الرموز وصمود هالبلد.
The participants gathered in Damascus to wait for buses to take them off to camp. Security measures are applied and all the passengers should be inspected before coming on board so as to prevent terrorist attacks. When the first batch of volunteers have been preparing for spending the night, the second group arrived and people continued to arrive even late at night. The first stop of this campaign was in the Kasyoun mountain overlooking Damascus, and participants are aiming to protect the main communication and television broadcast station serving Damascus and its countryside. The event has attracted a lot of media attention as well.
I agree with the president's decision to come to Congress for the...
Thursday, U.S. Senate committee approved the use of military force in Syria in response to an alleged chemical weapons attack.
They want to know that we would keep the world's promise.
The Committee on Foreign Relations moved the measure to a full Senate vote expected next week. Liz Anyango, Citizen at 1.
Right, to our friends.
The International Criminal Court judges have yet again rejected a request by Deputy President William Ruto to have his cases relocated to Kenya or Tanzania. The court decided in a plenary session that the commencement of the trial against William Ruto and Joshua Arap Sang will take place at the seat of the court in The Hague, the Netherlands. The judges, while in principle in favor of bringing the ICC's proceedings closer to the affected communities, concluded the proceedings in this instance shall be held at the ICC's headquarters. The judges reached this conclusion after an extensive discussion that considered the observations of all the parties and participants, the ICC's registry assessment, as well as the positions of the relevant national authorities. As the clock ticks away to the start of the trial against Deputy President William Ruto and journalist Joshua Arap Sang at the ICC, various teams involved in the trial are currently engaged in last-minute preparations ahead of the commencement of the trial next Tuesday. Lawyers of the victims say they have already identified a group of victims who will participate in the trial. It's a developing story. We will be bringing you that story later. Well, time to catch a breather now. We'll be back with more local news as well as business news and sports news. Don't go too far.